Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy, and I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the NIV, and we will be through the end of 2025. In this video, we are in Leviticus, chapter 10, and it's verses 1 through 20. The death of Nadab and Abihu. Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, took their censers. Hold on. Well, actually, there's different kinds. This. But then there's also, and then there's this. This is meant to be swung. Okay? So, either way, these things are filled with, for them, olive oil. When I'm using these things, they're filled with these little quick start charcoal discs, and you know, I'm not usually in danger of burning much of anything, but Aaron's sons Nadab and Abihu took their censers and put fire in them and added incense, and they offered unauthorized fire before the Lord contrary to his command. So fire came out from the presence of the Lord and consumed them, and they died before the Lord. So, all right. No unauthorized fire before God. Moses then said to Aaron, "This is what the Lord spoke of when he said, 'Among those who approach me, I will show myself holy. In the sight of all people, I will be honored.'" Aaron remained silent. I would be too. He just watched two of his sons, burn alive. I mean, that's like silent and then sobbing. Probably would be my next. Silent until I sobbed. Like stunned silence until I sobbed. Moses summons Mishael and Elzaphan, sons of Aaron's uncle Uzziel, wouldn't that be his uncle too? And said to them, "Come here, carry your cousins outside the camp, away from the front of the sanctuary." So they came and carried them still in their tunics outside the camp as Moses ordered. Okay. Then Moses said to Aaron and his sons, Eleazar and Ithamar, "Do not let your hair become unkempt. Do not uncover your heads. And do not tear your clothes, or you will die, and the Lord will be angry with the whole community." Okay. But your relatives, all the houses of Israel, may mourn for those the Lord has destroyed by fire. So we think we're gonna have a funeral, but I need you not to act out in this moment so you don't also die, nephew. Do not leave the entrance to the tent of meeting, or you will die, because the Lord's anointing oil is on you. So they did as Moses said. Then the Lord said to Aaron, "You and your sons are not to drink wine or other fermented drink whenever you go into the tent of meeting, or you will die." No wine in church. This is a lasting ordinance for generations to come. You must distinguish between the holy and the common, between the clean and the unclean. And you must teach the Israelites all the decrees the Lord has given them through Moses. Moses said to Aaron and his remaining sons, Eleazar and Ithamar, "Take the grain offering left over from the offerings made to the Lord by fire, and eat it prepared without yeast beside the altar, for it is most holy. Eat it in a holy place, because it is your share and your son's share of the offerings made to the Lord by fire, for so I have been commanded. But you and your sons and your daughters may eat the bread that was waved and the thigh that was presented. Eat them in a ceremonially clean place. So it means they're going to need to keep their houses ceremonially clean, or they're going to have to trek all of their family to church, because it's really basic. I mean, that's what this is. It's temple, but, you know, for us in the Christian context, church, in order to eat every meal. They have been given to you and your children as a share of the Israelites' fellowship offering. It's really not as hard as one would think it would be. Traditionally, a peace offering. The thigh that was presented and the breast that was waved must be brought with the fat portions of the offerings made by fire to be waved before the Lord as wave offerings. This will be the regular share for you and your children as the Lord has commanded. When Moses inquired about the goat of the sin offering and found that it had been burned up, he was angry with Eleazar and Ithamar, Aaron's remaining sons, and asked, "Why didn't you eat the sin offering in the sanctuary area? It is most holy. It was given to you to take away the guilt of the community by making atonement for them before the Lord. Since its blood was not taken into the holy place, you should have eaten the goat in the sanctuary area as commanded." Aaron replied to Moses, "Today they sacrificed their sin offering and their burnt offering before the Lord, but such things as this have happened to me. Would the Lord have been pleased if I had eaten the sin offering today?" When Moses heard this, he was satisfied. So Aaron was asking questions so he can correct himself and not have him and his children get set on fire, which is a very good motivating factor. Not getting set on fire is often a decision I make and say before I decide whether or not I can do any of my home repairs. Like, does the chance of this, if I mess it up, could I set something on fire by accident? Because maybe then I want to call the professionals instead. So I sort of have a line of how difficult is this? What are the consequences for messing this up before I try it? It's mostly done me in good stead, and any time I've ever decided, let's see what happens, it's never a good plan. He doesn't really like, let's see what happens. He likes, I'm going to tell you what to do. If you listen and you can hear how I talk to you, you'll find the way. That's why it's like he who has eyes to see and ears to hear. Hey there, friends! We are in late afternoon Bible study part 2. We are still in the Niv, for those who want to get emotional over it. We will compare it eventually to other versions, but first we got to finish reading this version before we can compare it to other versions. So we're going to keep on marching on like we have been. We are in the book of Mark. We are now going to do the rest of it is verses 26 through verse 41. That's why we broke it into 2 videos. The parable of the growing seed, verse 26. This is of course Jesus he's talking about. He also said that this is what the kingdom of God is like. A man scatters a seed on the ground. Night and day, whether he sleeps or gets up, the seed sprouts and grows, though he does not know how. All by itself, the soil produces grain. First the stalk, then the head, then the full kernel in the head, and soon as the grain is ripe, he puts a shekel to it because the harvest has come. Okay. Then, he doesn't know how these things happen. He just goes through the motions and things happen for him. Okay. The parable of the mustard seed. Verse 30. Again, he said, "What shall we say the kingdom of God is like? What parable shall we use to describe it? It is like a mustard seed, which is the smallest seed you plant in the ground. Yet when planted, it grows and becomes the largest of the garden plants with such big branches that birds in the air can perch in its shade." Now, I can say that that's pretty Because I had that. I had like one of the, however it happened, in my backyard, mustard, wild mustard, became the quote-unquote weed in the yard. And if you left it unattended, it would grow like waist high. It was quite expensive to clean up, I have to say. It's best one of those things, do not let it sit at all. Because like just like that, it'll cost you like $200 to have a landscaper clean it up. With many similar parables, Jesus spoke the word to them as much as they could understand. Oh, let's see. He did not say anything to them without using a parable. But when he was alone with his disciples, he explained everything. So they couldn't understand the parables any more than everybody else could. So keep that in mind when you're, talking about the apostles, okay? Jesus calms the storm. Verse 35. That day, when the evening came, he said to his disciples, let's go over to the other side, like of the lake, he's pointing out. Leaving the crowd behind, they took him just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, Teacher, don't you care if we drowned? He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, Quiet, be still. And when the wind died down, and it was completely calm, he said to his disciples, Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? They were terrified and asked each other, Who is this, that even the wind and the waves obey him? So that meant some of them were running around thinking that perhaps he was a prophet, but maybe not really sure he was a Messiah. So, and there were people that were like that, because even Jesus's little brother James, his half-brother, did not believe that he was the Messiah until he saw the bodily resurrection. So he had a divided camp, and these are part of the things that made them feel like maybe he is the Messiah. I happen to, of course, believe that Jesus Christ is my Messiah. So I find these things to be amazing. Until just a few minutes from now, friends. Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name is Amy. I am an ordained minister, and we're in Bible study. We are in the Niv. In this video, we are in Psalms, Book 1, Psalm 37, and we are actually going to wrap it up today. We're doing verses 30 through 40. This, of course, like the rest of most of this, well, actually, I think all of Book 1, it's all a Psalm of David. So, the mouth of the righteous man utters wisdom, and his tongue speaks what is just. The law of his God is in his heart, and his feet do not slip. The wicked lie in wait for the righteous, seeking their very lives. But the Lord will not leave them in their power, or let them be condemned when brought to trial. Wait for the Lord and keep his way. He will exalt you to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, you will see it. I have seen a wicked and ruthless man flourish like a green tree in its native soil. But he soon passed away and was no more. Though I looked for him, he could not be found. Consider the blameless, observe the upright. There is a future for the man of peace, but all sinners will be destroyed, and the future of the wicked will be cut off. The salvation of the righteous comes from the Lord. He is their stronghold in times of trouble. The Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them because they take refuge in Him.